Hey, random anime reviewer here. We have a great oldie today, Photon the Idiot Adventures, made in 1997. Of course, I have never heard of it before. It's a comedy that makes you laugh in the most unexpected moments and centers around a boy with superpowers, caught up in a fight he doesn't understand. Let's dive into the details. Hit him with the intro. We start off with a scene that immediately portrays the liberty this anime takes with the need for clothing, as well as setting the main conflict for the rest of the show quite effectively. We aren't given much information, which is great, before we jump into the story of Photon Earth, a brute of a boy with a kind heart who tracks his childhood friend on every time she falls in love for any good-looking man who will inevitably reject her. Once again, he is asked with bringing her back, but this time, she has stolen a village treasure to support herself on her travels. An has a special power that stops temporal time for everyone in a field, including herself. Quite ironically, the only one who isn't affected is Photon, who whacks her on the head to stop her power. She tricks Photon to escape and writes the word idiot on his forehead, using the village treasure as a prank and a message for him to stop following her because he is too stupid to understand her desires. This doesn't stop Photon's attempts to chase An down and bring her back, but on his quest he ends up in a mysterious spacecraft where he finds Kaini, without clothing, in a mirror-like room and sees the handiwork of An on his forehead. Angrily wanting someone else to have the same on their forehead so he's not alone, he writes the words on Kaini's forehead as well. In alien customs, and Kaini is an alien, having the same crest means marriage. In truly hilarious moments of misunderstandings and comedic timing, they have fights and encounters with Sir Papacharino Nanadan, also known as Papacha, the eccentric, universally handsome villain. The dream man of every woman in the show except for Kaini, the only one he wants because she will allow him to rule the universe. One small, big thing stopping him is Photon, who works to protect Kaini throughout every attempt and remains married to her. There aren't any complex characters who are largely dynamic in the show. In fact, most are fairly static. There are slight changes, but nothing noteworthy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as this show is primarily a comedy. Story progression is great, with every episode having something to laugh and or smile about. They include small details that make scenes funny even while the characters are serious, and therefore never lose that comedic atmosphere. Something I found interesting was that Photon Earth has a power that counters and is unaffected by the power of Aho, which means idiot in Japanese, used by the all-powerful characters in fights and An. The only person not affected by the idiot energy is himself an idiot. It may also refer to the fact that humans of Earth are too stupid to be affected by alien technology, and that's why even if aliens did exist, we wouldn't know it. I found this to be really amusing when I figured it out and found it hugely ironic. Also, the ways the different women in the show responded to Papacha, the playboy who enjoys the presence of women in his bedroom and uses his status to remain uncommitted and wants to take over the entire universe, was great and somewhat refreshing. Starting off with Kaini, who sees through the character of Papacha, she has no interest in him or his status and remains committed to Photon. Contrastingly, An is infatuated with Papacha with the thought of having him and the status he comes with since she is coming from a poor village, until she is rejected, then hates him. Finally, there's the faraway princess who is introduced later in the story and thinks Papacha has been faithful with her the whole time and holds on to her blind faith in him, even with solid evidence showing how her emotions stopped her from clearly seeing the practically non-existent and faithless relationship she had with Papacha, who in that time apart has been with very many women. As far as animation goes, for something made in 1997 with such a distinct art style, I found it really good. There were no problems whatsoever in my opinion. A lot of effort was put into the details that made the show, with all of its ironic misunderstandings, a great watch. If I had to say there was something that would dock points, it would be that there are a few episodes early on which seem really slow and repetitive, but I think those were nice gags and allowed for some extra character development. Surprisingly, this is a short series with only 6 extended length episodes and a 50-minute finale. Overall, it ends up being approximately a normal 8 to 9 episodes in length. It may not be a show that you can watch in public, but you can fire it up and easily finish it whenever you want a good laugh. Fair warning though, the show does not shy away from the unclothed human form, and surprisingly, it's not only females that get this treatment. I really loved this show and was blown away with how good it was. The art style grew on me and I enjoyed the fights, the twists, and the overall irony that Photon the Idiot Adventures has. I would have never thought this, but this anime was a strong 8. I completely recommend watching it, just not in public. Within the first few episodes, you'll know if the type of humor suits you, so give it a shot. With that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. This is Random Anime Reviewer signing off. Zoop!